Become a premium member on RealCatholicTV.com today. Not only will you learn about the one true faith, just think of all the new friends you'll make.
Prop 8 heads to the Supreme Court. Protecting American borders with a gay party? A crescent moon rises in the Roman sky. All that and more coming up on today's Catholic News Roundup.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Proposition 8 heads to the Supreme Court. The fight over banning same-sex marriage in California is banging on the doors of the U.S. Supreme Court after a federal appeals court refused to hear the case of Proposition 8 again. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is passing the buck to the highest court in the land. Proposition 8 is a law that has been fought over in court several times over the past few years, and if upheld, would protect the definition of marriage as between one man and one woman. Judges attack the church. Spanish judges are after the Catholic Church's money as they launch a campaign to make the Catholic Church in Spain pay taxes. A spokesman for the Judges for Democracy Spanish Association declares that 3 billion euros could be raised if the Catholic Church paid taxes. He said in a press conference, tax exemption for the Holy See is paradoxical and not compatible with a secular state. And also, the Spanish government needs the money. The judge conveniently left out of his comments that no other religious groups are being pursued to pay taxes. Gay activist sues bishop. A militant homosexualist is suing a Colombian bishop over his defense of traditional marriage. A Colombian radio station reported that Bishop Juan Vicente Cordoba is being sued by columnist and gay activist Felipe Zuleta for breaking the country's anti-discrimination law introduced late last year. The legal action comes just 1 month after Bishop Cordoba admonished Colombia's constitutional court to uphold the traditional family, which is enshrined in their constitution. Here's a good story about your tax dollars at work. Government pride. The Department of Homeland Security is celebrating homosexuality. The DHS is holding a gay-themed event called the June Pride Ceremony. The idea behind the event is to publicize June Pride Month, marking, quote, a year of significant progress for Department of Homeland Security pride and for the LGBT community, end quote. DHS Pride is an employee association representing gays, lesbians, bisexual, and transgendered individuals working within the government agency. Amanda Simpson, the first openly transgendered woman appointed to the U.S. government, will receive the DHS Pride Award for Service and deliver the keynote address at the event. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
No protection for Christians or the KKK. A Christian couple in Albuquerque, New Mexico is being fined $7,000 because they are morally opposed to gay marriage. Elaine Photography Studio refused to photograph a lesbian, quote, commitment ceremony in 2006. The New Mexico judge ruled Elaine Photography is illegally refusing its services, citing the New Mexico Human Rights Act, also known as the NMHRA, mandating no public entity may discriminate against potential clientele. The studio posited the hypothetical argument that an African-American photographer would not be forced to photograph a Ku Klux Klan event because the photographer would disagree with the Klansman's agenda. Garcia explains, however, Elaine Photography is not expected by New Mexico's constitution stipulating no one may be persecuted on account of his religious beliefs. Quote, what Elaine Photography's hypothetical fails to address is the fact that the Ku Klux Klan is not a protected class. Sexual orientation, however, is protected. Islamic Intentions. Islam has its sights set on conquering the Vatican. That, according to a professor of Quranic studies in Gaza. It is the hope of those who follow Muhammad to raise the banner of the caliphate over the Vatican, says Professor of Quranic Studies Subi al-Yazihi. He says, quote, in accordance with the hadith of Muhammad, Constantinople shall be conquered, and then Rome, end quote. The religion of Islam is practiced throughout the Middle East in countries like Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and many others, and they all adhere to a form of Orthodox Islam consistent with older traditions. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. Also be sure to check out The Vortex, where Michael talks about our new home at St. Michael's Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And, as always, God bless you.